Welcome back to the channel. If you're into indie sci-fi, psychological thrillers, or just want to feel mildly terrified about the future of social media, this review is for you. Today, we're talking about Share, the 2023 sci-fi thriller that sneaked under the radar, but has a lot to say. It's minimalist, and a little too close to reality for comfort. Let's start with the performances. Melvin Gregg stars as the unnamed protagonist. Yeah, he doesn't have a name, and he carries the film on his shoulders, almost literally. This is essentially a one-man show, and Gregg delivers a performance that's raw, restrained, and quietly desperate. The character is stuck in a single room, streaming to the world through a screen he doesn't control. And Melvin captures the confusion, the hope, and eventually the despair with subtlety. There are a few appearances by other characters, but Gregg is the emotional anchor. The few characters he meets online, for some reason they share certain life stories, but never care to share their names. You watch him slowly unravel in real time, and it's compelling. That being said, I will forever think of him as Dumbass of the Year for a scene right at the end. If you watched the film, you'd know exactly what I am referring to. But that too plays into the central themes of the film, seeking validation even in the worst possible times. Supporting cast includes Bradley Whitford, Alice Braga, and Danielle Campbell, all of whom provide solid performances despite the minimalist script. Share plays like a psychological riddle. The protagonist wakes up in a locked room. No doors, no explanation, just a desk, a toilet, and a screen where people can watch and interact through messages. No escape, no privacy, only shares. The mystery unfolds slowly, and instead of leaning on action or plot twists, the film builds dread through questions. Why is he here? Who's watching? Is this punishment or performance? Are the viewers complicit? Here's where things get uncomfortably relatable. Share is a brutal metaphor for the attention economy. The character realizes he only gets resources, food, toilet paper, even sunlight, when his content gets shared. The more people engage, the more he gets. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's influencer culture in a nutshell. The film forces you to think about how much of your life is spent performing online, how validation is measured in metrics, and how that can easily turn into a prison. It's not preachy, but it is provocative. And it hits harder in a world where we're all constantly online, curating, streaming, swiping, hoping to be seen. The dialogue in Share is minimalist but effective. A lot of it is internal monologue or interaction with an unseen audience. The script smartly avoids over-explaining. Instead, it builds atmosphere through silence, frustration, and repetition. You feel the mental strain of the character not just through what he says, but what he doesn't say. There's a lot of awkwardness, pacing, talking to himself. It feels real, not written. And that's a tough thing to pull off. The screenplay is a slow-burn narrative that rewards patient viewers. It's sparse but intentional. Each line adds to the psychological weight. Visually, the film does a lot with a little. You'd think being stuck in one room would get boring fast, but the lighting, camera angles, and use of screen interfaces keep things visually engaging, at least for myself. It leans into minimalism. No flashy effects, no explosions, just one man, one screen, and a creeping sense of dread. The room becomes a character in itself. So, is Share worth your time? If you're looking for a fast-paced, plot-heavy thriller, this is definitely not it. But if you want a thought-provoking, unnerving look at social media, isolation, and the human need for validation, this one's a gem. It's not perfect. The pacing might test your patience, and the ending leaves a lot unanswered. But that's kind of the point. It lingers. It forces you to think about your own digital footprint. Check it out if you're in the mood for something different, something cerebral, and something that might just make you close your apps for a while. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Would you survive if your life depended on how often you got shared? Until next time, stay curious.